It's a Texas weather discussion video for Tuesday, the 20th of August. I'm Donovan Neal. For the early part of this week, we'll stay mostly very hot and humid, but some relief is on the way faster than you know it. So here's the upper air map across the nation this morning. This is the upper air look at 500 millibars, looking up around 18 to 20,000 feet off the ground. You can see we have that dreaded upper high parked right on top of us. Once again, the mid-latitude westerlies. The jet stream stays up to the north. Very classic summer pattern here, getting really annoying here. Temperatures mostly in the low 80s, low to mid 80s. Love field already at 84 or 85, and it won't get better this evening as temperatures are already going to be around the 100-degree mark. As such, we have a heat advisory in effect to address that for much of the north central Texas region. A couple of the counties out in a couple of our western counties have been trimmed out of that heat advisory, but just keep in mind, just know that it's going to be hot pretty much everywhere across the region. Even in central Oklahoma, northern central Oklahoma, even a few counties in Arkansas, Kansas have a few excessive heat warnings in effect. Also out in west near Arizona and California, also excessive heat warnings in effect as well. But for the rest of Texas, remains quiet. On convective outlooks, we have an enhanced risk of severe storms for parts of Chicago and parts of Missouri and Iowa, where they're dealing with a morning mesoscale convective system that could produce a lot of damaging wind there. But the broad severe weather risk runs from the high plains all the way to the mid-Atlantic states, mid-Atlantic coast. On day 2, tomorrow, we have that risk of severe storms for parts of the northeastern United States. That standard risk runs from New York all the way to Maine. And of course, we have a marginal risk down here in the plains. And on day 3, same risk of severe storms, marginal risk down here in the southern south central plains, also in parts of the high plains as well. And here's the average rainfall for the next 7 days. Heaviest rain for the country mostly stays around the southern Louisiana coast, and down here in North Texas, mostly nothing. We might see something this weekend, but it'll be very spotty, very minimal amounts. Out in the tropics, there's a wave a couple hundred miles to the east of the United States coast that's moving to the northeast and is not expected to develop at all. The rest of the Atlantic basin remains quiet. So let's go to the dailies here. This is the GFS. This is the 06Z run value this afternoon at 4 o'clock local time. Again, this is the look at 500 millibars. You can see we have that broad ridge for much of the central and western United States, and down here much of Texas stays dry as a result of that. Highs again near the 100-degree mark with heat indices around 105 to 110. Same thing on Wednesday, and pretty much the same deal on Thursday. We do cool down a little bit on Thursday with highs in the upper 90s. We won't have straight 100-degree days from this point on. Highs mostly in the upper 90s from this point on Thursday. It'll still feel a little very hot though. Same thing on Friday, and for the weekend, Saturday, I do think during the day Saturday will stay dry during the day, but for at least the pre-dawn to morning hours on Saturday, I think we could see at least some spotty showers and storms. It won't be a widespread event, but it's definitely those cases where it could be rain at times. And then Sunday during the day, most of the rain stays to the south, and now out in southwest Texas, they'll get most of the rain. We stay dry here in North Texas, highs mostly in the mid-90s with the mostly sunny skies. Now here's Monday of next week. Monday, again, we still stay dry, highs mostly in the mid-90s, and a week from today, Tuesday the 27th of August, we have a little shortwave trough out near Mexico that will keep us cooler in the low to mid 90s. Again, we'll mention cooler weather, highs in the low to mid 90s. And here's the end of the 10-day forecast period. This is Friday the 30th of August. You can see we have troughing in the north. That ridge stays well to the west, and down here we stay mostly dry for much of north central Texas. But you can see for the numbers for the next 15 days, some relief from the heat on the way. Highs mostly in the upper 90s for the rest of this work week. But as you can see, as we get towards the last full week of August, Highs basically dip down to the low 90s and even maybe some parts in the 80s as we head towards September. But that's some nice relief on the way. We'll even mention lows in the 60s as we kick off meteorological fall. We'll just have to see. But the bottom line is some relief from the heat is on the way. That's it for the Texas weather discussion video for today. Our notes in the blog. Next video here will be posted at around 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. If you can't catch local TV stations on the air this afternoon at 4, 5, 6, and 10 o'clock. Thanks for watching. Have a great day and Godspeed.